Good morning, Britain. A warning. The UK's economy will slam into reverse. The International Monetary Fund says Britain is the only leading economy likely to slide into recession this year as households continue to struggle with the cost of living.
It's gone through. MPs back plans aimed at enforcing minimum service levels for some sectors during strikes as Britain prepares for the biggest day of action in more than a decade.
Caught breaking his own rules, blasted for failing to protect those in care homes and donating just a fraction of his fee from I'm a Celebrity to charity. Does Matt Hancock have any regrets? We speak to the former Health Secretary live in his first exclusive TV interview since leaving the jungle.
And the sky is no longer the limit for former British Paralympic sprinter John McFall. He'll be telling us about his remarkable journey from losing his leg in an accident at the age of 19 to now becoming the world's first astronaut with a disability.
And we're feeling dazzled this morning because we've got stars in our eyes. National treasure and former king of Saturday night entertainment, Matthew Kelly, on his addiction to TV. Why his current stage role is the most challenging of his career and how he was nearly killed by a glittering disco ball.
A band of rain clears south and a day of sunny spells and scattered showers. I'll have all the details of that and more coming up on Good Morning Britain.
Tuesday, 31st of January 2023, live from Television Centre in London. This is Good Morning Britain with Susanna, Reid and Richard Madeley.
Hi, morning everybody. Got some straight questions for Matt Hancock when he comes on. I doubt he'll cry, as he did. He cried when he came on this show, didn't he?
He did.
A couple of years ago.
Do you remember during the first year of the pandemic and when the vaccine rollout began, the morning that the first vaccines went into the first arms. And Matt Hancock, who was Health Secretary at the time, appeared on Good Morning Britain. And he appeared to be, well, this was the problem. Was he overcome with emotion, as he said, because of the kind of epicness
the moment
of the vaccines being rolled out, or was he putting it on?
You mean crocodile tears, as in the jungle?
That's what viewers thought. Let's have a look.
Groundbreaking, I think. It could make a difference to our lives from now on, couldn't it? To a local shop.
He says that the tears were streaming down his face, that his eyes were so red. And yet, in that clip, it looks like he's laughing and then remembers that he needs to look emotional. I mean, it is one of the moments that people remember very distinctly, and he writes about in his book, The Pandemic Diaries, and we will ask him about the truth of that moment, the morning of the vaccine rollouts.
What I really want to know is, he said when he was in the jungle that he was seeking forgiveness and redemption. And now, a couple of months after coming out, does he think he's got that? Because, of course, he was assaulted, wasn't he? Only
allegedly, and, of course, that is now a legal and ongoing
So we can't go into too much detail about
case.
That, but, something bad happened. So, a lot to talk to him about.
Yes, and also, of course, how people who have been affected by COVID. This is the main issue, of course, for you. How people who are affected by COVID felt about how Matt Hancock broke his own rules, or perhaps didn't look after your loved one in a care home, if you feel that. Perhaps you are very grateful to him despite his response. Perhaps you are grateful because of the vaccines rollout. Or perhaps you have concerns about the ongoing effects of COVID. And, of course, this morning, Kate is in the studio. And Kate, of course, you and your family, one of the most deeply affected by COVID, because Derek suffered very early on. I mean, we remember those days. No one better than you. But the fears for Derek's life, at the moment that he was looking, we were looking for a hospital with a ventilator, weren't you?
Absolutely. And, of course, I think there are many camps. There are those, as you say, who lost people, and 2-3 years on, you're still very much on the foothills of dealing with that grief. It's still very, very raw. There's those like myself who have people, myself and of course Derek, who have, you know, still got ongoing, life-changing, life-threatening devastation from the pandemic. And then there are also those who are working in the hospitals, aren't there, who lost people themselves. Some of those died, some of those work. They look at the telephone number style money that Matt Hancock has had from the jungle and think, well, hang on, we're trying to get a pay rise. So there's so many people for whom I think want to see more, you know, more from him. And
more contrition, do you think?
Well, maybe more contrition, or maybe just more of an understanding. I think that's something that people don't feel they've seen, which we may do this morning. And also, I guess there are many questions to ask about the time when he was Health Secretary, aren't there? Yeah.
I also would love to know, because we all know that lives can, what how the Americans put it, can turn on a dime, can spin on a sixpence, as we used to say. And I wonder if he hadn't been caught on camera in an embrace with his lover, and if that video hadn't been released to the media, if he'd actually still be in government, if all of this, everything we're going to be talking about, and the whole jungle experience would never have happened, if actually he was almost forced into it by being caught out, by being caught breaking his, not having an affair, so many people have an affair, but breaking his own rules.
All of that to come after 7 o'clock this morning. Now, though, our main news story.